Hey gangs, so I think what I want to do in this video is everything else. We're going to add sound. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video, but at the end of it, we're going to have something that is going to go from here where it is now to having a start screen and the ability to collect coins and a sound and a score. So it's gonna be a little bit funner. And by the end, when we collect all these coins, we'll get a level complete, and we'll be able to try again with new coins. So what we're gonna do is, you can see like the first thing that you notice is there's multiple coins, and we've talked about this a bunch. That's one thing that's great about using classes is we can keep track of a bunch of data really simply. But since these videos are kind of in response to at least one student saying, "I hate these class things," and since I am a good socialist, and I also hate class constructions. And furthermore, in programming in JavaScript, the idea of using classes is a little bit contentious. I want to just do this whole thing without any classes, and I think it'll be kind of fun. So we're going to add, first of all, let's bring in that coin sound, and just like we did before, but this time with load sound. We'll bring in that asset, and you can see over there I've got this coin.mp3. Now the interesting thing is, where are we going to store that sound? Where are we going to access that sound? Idea. My advice is we do this. We say, we're going to make some new coin variables. And we'll keep some of those, and we'll get rid of some other ones. So let's just start with these new coin variables. We'll say const num coins equals 10. And we'll keep the coin width and the coin height. I'm pretty happy with those. We can modify those if we want to. I'm gonna also have like coins. So this is going to be, you guessed it, an array. We're going to use an array to store these, and we're not going to need any of this. So we got our new coin variables, and we're going to store all that x and y stuff in our array. So we'll say coins equals array dot from. So we'll make an array from the combination of this object, a length, and this function. And if we want to keep track of an index, I don't think we need to keep track of this index for any reason. But if we did want to, we could pull that off of here. We could have this I and store that as an index. So we need to remember to return something from this, and I'm just going to return an object. So I could have an ID, and very often as you go farther in your programming, especially with this functional style of programming, you'll want to have keep track of that ID so you can access and update each element. But I'm just gonna, I don't think I'm gonna use that, but we'll have it just in case. So this image is going to be coin image. I could also have an array of images and have each coin be a different one. See if you can think about how we might do that, given some stuff that we've done in the past. And if you're interested in doing that and can't figure it out, just holler at me. So we're going to have an image, an IMG, and an SND, and we're going to have an X. And this X is going to be, we're going to make this be a random value, but we're going to make sure it's not off the side of the screen. So we're going to say coin width plus random. And you know what? Instead of 0 to canvas width, we could say like 50 to canvas width minus coin width minus 50. So now we've got that 50 for the padding, and we've also got, we're making sure that the coin width is the whole coin is on the screen. And we'll do the same thing for this Y value. We'll just change coin width to coin height, canvas width to canvas height. And we're done. Now we just need to define the W and the height. So we're going to pull those values off of here. And we're going to have, now, like in that last video, we had this coin collected for just like if that coin had been collected. Now we can have a variable for each one of these coins, so we can find out whether it's been collected or not. And we'll have collected false. So now we're going to have an array of objects that'll each have these values, and we can use that in our draw coin function. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to just say draw coin, and I'm going to pass in the coin. But I think what we need to do is we need to say, so let's just get rid of this. This is what we're going to rewrite now with our array. So we're going to say, and also this. So we need to do all that stuff with our array. So what we're going to do is say, so we're going to do it for all of our coins. We'll say coins.for each coin. And in here we'll do some stuff. First we're going to have a function called check collected. And this one is going to take in all these Mario values. And here's a little challenge for you. Can you make a function that'll make Mario? And I left a little hint for you on the GitHub repo. So we could pass in not all these Mario values, but we could pass in Mario. Now that's getting dangerously close to this class thing that we're trying to avoid. But it's not using a class. We could make a function that makes a Mario object, just like we made a coin object here. And then we could just pass in Mario. And that'd be pretty nifty, wouldn't it? So I'm going to, for each coin, I'm going to check collected. So I'm going to check if this particular coin, this coin right here, each coin in the array, check if it has been collected or not. And we'll say if not coin.collected. So now coin.collected is this value here. If the coin hasn't been collected, then what we're going to do is draw coin, and we'll pass in the whole coin. Now we're going to rewrite the draw coin function just a smidge, but not very much. All we have to do is pull off the x, the y, the w, the h, and the image from this coin. And that's super easy in JavaScript. All we have to do is pass in these brackets. And that just says, pull off that image x, y, w, and h from the object that's getting passed in here. And let's just see what we got. That's not it. That's not working. What happened? Check collected is not defined. Okay, right. So I'm going to have a function called check collected, and now if we look at it, we get the coins. We're not actually checking collected, but it's satisfied because there's a function called that. So we got a bunch of coins now, and every time I refresh, we'll get a different bunch of coins. Now there's some improvements we could add here, and you can see that that's not working. Random 50 to canvas height minus coin height minus 50. So let's just say here 100. And let's just see if that, yeah, so that's better. So now it's always on the screen. All right, so there's like I was starting to say, there are some improvements we can make, like for instance, we can make sure that none of these coins ever overlap, or none of them are on Mario to start with, but we're not going to worry about that for now. We're going to just we're going to write this check collected function. So what's going to happen is in this draw loop, we're going to run the draw loop, and for each coin, we're going to check if it's been collected, and then we're going to draw the coin. And if this check collected, depending on what this check collected function returns, we may not draw the coin because that's where we're going to update this coin.collected value. So this check collected is going to take in the Mario stuff and the coin stuff. And so that's all of this stuff here. But I'm going to yeah, I think I'm going to just keep that stuff, be called that stuff for now. So we're going to say if not coin.collected. This is really similar to what we did before. So in check collected, if the coin hasn't been collected, then we're going to need a new value that's going to run this check coin value here. And so we'll say const paid equals check coin, and into there we need to pass an x1, a y1, all that stuff. So I'm going to pass in the same stuff that just came in, except I'm going to say coin.x, coin.y, coin.h, no, w, coin.h. So now we should be able to just use the same function that we used before several times now. And we'll say this is going to return true or false, and we'll say if it returns true, then we'll say coin.collected equals true. Score, we're going to add to the score, and we're going to play the sound of this coin. So this coin, it keeps getting passed into these functions, and we're updating it now, and we can play the sound. So we don't have the score variable yet, but that's what we need to do next. We need to have something like a score. We'll set it to 0, and we'll say, so these will be for like the main game. So we'll see if we've completed the level. We'll see if the game started or not, and we'll see what the score is. And I'm just going to keep going in this video, even though it's getting a little bit long, because I want to finish this thing up. But let's just see now if we're able to get those. Yep. That's not good. So I think the Mario and coin heights aren't doing exactly what I want them to. It's working great on that side. That's working. So that Mario, let's see, I think I did make a mistake here. So minus H1. So that should just be like that. Let's see if that's better. Yeah. Okay. So that's. Sorry about that. I misled you on those, and I hope you knew that already. But I'm just gonna keep going because I wanna get these out to you today, so you can work on them. And at some point, obviously, I'll come back and redo this. So we've got now that we see that once we collect the coins, they're no longer there, and we get that sound, and we're not showing our score, but we want to show our score. So let's do that. Let's make a function to do it. We're drawing our Mario. We're drawing our coin. Let's make one called let's make one for start screen too while we're at it. But we'll do the scoreboard first. What we need to do is just use some text. So we're gonna, and we could start out with just the score at 40, 40. And we should see, do I have a score? Yeah, I've got a score. So let's see if we get a score. Nope, don't see it there. I think it's probably because we need to make a color for that. So let's say fill of 255. And we still are not seeing the score. Oh, duh, because I'm not drawing the scoreboard. And also that's not in the right place. Ha! Okay. Fooled you, didn't I? Okay, so let's draw that scoreboard up here. And now we get that score up there. Let's make a few refinements to this. Let's give it a text size of 30. So it'll be a 30, what are they, I forget what font sizes are in actually. It's going to be a 30 size. And let's put a text that says score, and let's put this at 40, 40. And let's do this one at 140, 40, and take a look at it. And we see that's pretty good. I feel like that's a little bit higher than that. I'm not really sure why that is. May just be my brain, but to me that looks a little bit better. And we can see now as we collect them, we get a higher score. Yay! Obviously we could add enemies into this mix, and maybe that's something for you to think about. I did that already in the more complex Mario game. But you could probably use this very simple one to just think about how to make a coin, but give it a different image and have it move randomly on its own. And then check that collision just the same way we did with the coin. I'm going to just leave this with the start screen and the level complete. And we'll just say fill 255 and a text size again of 30, and in here we'll have a text that'll say ready, and here we'll have a text of push the button below. This positioned in a decent spot, and we could just say canvas width over 2, canvas height over 2. Same here. So that's going to put it at the center. Now, maybe we want to move this up a little bit. I'm just going to say like that. And let's just see what we get. So we get nothing. So again, we're not seeing that because I'm not calling this function draw start screen. If I draw the start screen, then our game gets kind of confusing. And also I should add a question mark. And I bet you know what we need to do. We need to only display this if we're not playing the game yet. So we'll say if not started, draw this start screen. And else draw the rest of this. And there we go. So now you can see this doesn't look great to me. Let's do canvas width over 2 minus 200, and we could scale these values correctly, but I just don't really feel like dealing with it right now. So we got our text there. We need our start button to start the game. You can see now our game isn't getting drawn. So that's what our start button is going to do. Our start button is going to update this started value so that we no longer draw the start screen, and we do this. But before we do that, let me delete this little chunk here. And let's just take this whole thing here and put it in its own function called draw game. And so now we don't get that. I need to have this button. In order to make this button, we're going to make another variable called play button. And here in setup, I'm going to say play button start. So I'm going to create this button called start, and let's just see if it's there. It is not there. And the reason for that is pretty simple. Let's see, we need to, what's going on with my brain here? We need to give it a position. So we'll say start button, play button, dot position, and this position is going to be canvas width over 2, canvas height over 2. And there we go. So now we get our button, and maybe we want to just say minus 100. There we go. So now it's sort of lined up with those. You can line these up better. You could use those canvas width and canvas height values to make it scale better. I was noticing in mine that I had made before, I wasn't super happy with the way it scaled anyway. So, you know, you could also just change these values just a little bit so that it wasn't, you know, quite that much. And this one would be like 70, 40, and you know, it's okay, right? Now the styling here, how I've got this hover, I've got these rounded corners, I've got this color, I've got the background color and the color. That stuff is coming from a little bit of CSS that I wrote. So generally on the web, CSS is used for styling elements, and this button is an element. And if you check out the Mario videos, if you already watched those, I have a pretty long explanation of how this works. We're basically inserting, just like with create canvas, create button inserts a DOM element into this body here. And then we can style it using this button. I could also style my canvas. I'm not going to do that, but you can see my button. And I don't think it's using this width or height values, but it is setting this background color. I think it's just fitting it around the text. And I think that's just because it's a P5 button. But the background color and the border radius is that curvy edge. And then when it hovers, like this colon hover, I'm changing the background color and the color of the text. So that's that, and that's that. So when I push this, I want to have it do something. And what I'm going to have it do is, so I'm going to say play button dot mouse pressed start game. And I think when I call start game, I'm just going to say started equals true, score equals 0, just in case there was a score before. And anything else? Maybe we want to, well, maybe we could move this in there. Yeah, that's a good idea. So we'll make our coins in our start game. And that way, if we're playing this for the second time, we'll get a new array of coins. There we go. Oh, and now I need to hide this start button. So that'll be the last thing I'll do. I'll say start button. Hide. Boom. And it still didn't hide. Okay, start button is not defined at p5 element dot start game. Okay. So this is an interesting thing. In this function, start button is not defined. Oh, right, play button. Never mind. It's not an interesting thing. I thought it was going to be an example of an interesting thing, but it's just a thing. There we go. So I'm not sure why I just got that. Let's see. Oh, because Mario was on a coin and it got immediately collected. So let's just collect all these coins, and then we'll get to our last little improvement, which is the end of the game. We'll get to 9. Mario collects all the coins. I want to show a new screen, and I want it to be called level complete. And we're just basically going to take all this stuff from here, from the start screen, and we'll say level complete. Try again. And so we'll have another state for this game. We'll say if not started, then draw start screen, else draw game. And we'll say else if not level complete, draw game, else draw level complete. And so we need to have a way of setting level complete. And maybe we could just write our own function. We could do it in our check coins function. We could do it in a bunch of different places, but I think what I'm going to do is just say here in the draw loop, we'll say if score is greater than numCoins minus 1. So if the score is bigger than 9 in this case, because numCoins is 10, then we'll set level complete equals true. And we need to also say start button dot play button dot show. All right, so now let's see if that works. So we should get level complete equals true. And we should probably also set started to false. So maybe we need to say because we want to be not started. Well, no, maybe we'll just leave it started. We'll leave it started. That's fine. Because we don't want to draw the start screen again. We're just going to draw that level complete. So let's see what happens if I start it. Oh my god, it's so easy. There's no enemies. So that would be something for you to puzzle on, is how could we bring an enemy in here? We could say that money is the enemy, though. Level complete, try again. Oops. So now I push the start button and we run into a little problem, which is that we want to say level complete equals false. So when we start the game, we'll say also level complete equals false. Okay. Let's try that again. And you know, I see some like little issues in there, right? We probably want to. I could rethink the way we're organizing this, if then stuff. But it works, and that's what matters. We could also increment the level. Leave that up to you. We would just have a draw level. Maybe we could have that over on the right over here. So each time we go to a new level, we'll increment that value. And that's pretty much that. So that's your classless version of a Mario game. And I hope that helped some of you who were struggling with those class ideas. I hope that's straightforward enough to follow. Let me know if that helped in the comments. Let me know if you still need help on the Discord. And have yourselves a beautiful